Welcome back, everyone. Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies are looking good right now, and they appear to be a great matchup for the Golden State Warriors. Not only are they a great matchup for them though, but they're putting on a show right now. During their Game 2 victory, Ja Morant was able to make NBA history. He became the third player in league history to have multiple 45-point games in the postseason before turning 23. And oh, by the way, the other two players in that category are Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Ja Morant joins some pretty damn good company here, and if he continues to trend in this direction, it may only be the beginning. Not only for him though, but really for the entire Memphis Grizzlies team. It would be hard to deny the bright future that they have ahead of them, and it's most certainly being led by Ja Morant. A 23-year-old Ja Morant is leading a young, hungry group of players to what could potentially be another historical record. Memphis is not only a young team, but they are the second youngest team in the entire NBA this season, and the youngest playoff team by a very wide margin. In fact, when looking at the average age of their team, they are nearly 2 years younger compared to the next youngest remaining playoff team, with that being the Boston Celtics. And bear with me here, but if they were to eventually make the NBA Finals and win a championship, they would become the second youngest team in NBA history to win a championship, putting them behind only the 1977 Portland Trail Blazers. Even if they were to make the NBA Finals but not win, they would still crack the top 5 for youngest teams to ever make it that far. And well, the point I'm trying to make here is that they're playing well beyond their years. It is not normal for a team this young to be making this kind of noise. Although, even though we could go on talking about their future for hours, it would be completely wrong to not talk about what they're doing right now in the present. I mean, don't get me wrong here, they have definitely had their fair share of issues during the playoffs, and some even believe that they should have gotten beat by the Timberwolves in round 1. But here they are, and they are not backing down from Golden State. Both Game 1 and Game 2 have been absolute must-see TV. Both teams are electric in their own way on offense and are extremely fun to watch. On one hand, you have Golden State being led by the two greatest three-point shooters of all time in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And oh, by the way, that Jordan Poole kid isn't too bad either. And then on the other hand, you have arguably the most dynamic player in the entire NBA in Ja Morant, along with a collection of young talent in Desmond Bane, Dillon Brooks, Brandon Clarke, Jaren Jackson Jr., and much more. All of which have been major contributors up until this point, with that being particularly true of not only Morant, but Desmond Bane and surprisingly, Brandon Clarke too. We will talk more about Ja Morant in a minute here, but let's take a quick moment to appreciate what Desmond Bane and Brandon Clarke have been doing. There are very few players around the NBA who took as big of a leap forward this year compared to Bane. He not only doubled his point per game average, but he all around became a better and much more confident NBA player. You can even make a good argument for him being their best player during round 1 of the NBA playoffs, where he averaged 23.5 points per game and shot an insane 49.1% from beyond the arc. Desmond Bane single-handedly kept them in a couple of games, and if not for him, their first round matchup with the Timberwolves could have potentially ended very differently. Like I mentioned before though, another player who has been huge for them is none other than Brandon Clarke. With Steven Adams being virtually unplayable in the playoffs, and especially against a team like the Warriors, Brandon Clarke has become a much more important player in their rotation. And not only from playing the minutes that Steven Adams played for them during the regular season, but by being their safety blanket for when Jaren Jackson Jr. inevitably gets into foul trouble, which at this point is pretty much every game, and that has left them relying even further on Brandon Clarke, who has really done an incredible job filling in for him. He may not offer the same kind of rim protection, but Brandon Clarke has been an animal on the offensive boards. He has fallen off a bit in that category against Golden State, but he grabbed 23 of them alone during round 1. Brandon Clarke's energy and effort has all around been huge for them, and like Desmond Bane, they may not have been able to get past the Timberwolves without him. Although, now that they have gotten past round 1 and are facing the former NBA champion Golden State Warriors, it has been all about Ja Morant. Like I mentioned before, he dropped 47 points during their Game 2 victory over the Warriors, and he really did everything he could to carry them to a victory. Even though the Warriors are a better all-around defense compared to the Timberwolves, I would argue that they are a far better matchup for Ja Morant in particular. Rather than having to deal with Patrick Beverley all game long, he has now gotten a much easier matchup with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole. And with Gary Payton no longer being a factor to defend him anymore after an unfortunate injury, the Warriors no longer have an ideal defender for him either, which could lead to Ja Morant continuing to be a huge mismatch for them, and that alone could be enough to make an argument for Memphis eventually winning this matchup. In conclusion though, if you are an all-around NBA fan like me, then you are absolutely loving this matchup. We are getting to watch two great teams go at it, and potentially getting to witness something that has never been done before with what Ja Morant and Memphis are doing. But with that will conclude my thoughts on this incredible round 2 matchup that we are getting, along with the history that is being made along the way. And what do you guys think? What has been your main takeaway from this matchup? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. But before you go, I would like to invite you to join the official Discord for the channel. If you like having NBA debates and discussion with others in real time, being updated on NBA news, or even being able to chat with me, then you really should think about joining. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.